Alright, so this is me demoing my Boss noise suppressor and my Ibanez TS9DX tube screamer with my PV6505MH. Alright, so I've got my guitar hooked in to the input of the Ibanez tube screamer. Then I've got a little tiny whatever you want to call those little connectors going out of the tube screamer and into the input of my noise suppressor. And then out of the output of the noise suppressor, I have a cord going into my amp, in the front of my amp, not the back, into the effects loop. Even though this has an effects loop, if you want to run your delays, your choruses, reverbs, all those stuff, my understanding is you would run it out of here, or you would run into the effects loop of your amp. But for just what I'm running, I found through my research that running it into the front of your amp is the best method, or is the preferred method. I haven't tried using it through my effects loop, but I've got great results right now, I think, with the sound. This is what my settings are right now. I've got it on hot, and I've got the drive turned all the way down, the level all the way up, and the tone all the way up, or the level almost all the way up. Then over here, my threshold is all the way turned down because that's what it was needed to do. I got my decay at around 2 o'clock, and it's on reduction instead of mute. Of course, you put it on mute, it mutes your signal, you turn it off, and you've got this fuzz. You can hear that fuzz. Let me turn on my amp. It's really low because it's kind of, I got neighbors. Hear that feedback? No feedback when you hit the noise gate. So the NS2, Boss NS2 works. It does what it's supposed to do. It suppresses the noise. When you're not playing, you'll see that reduction light. Then when you do play, the light goes off. When you're not playing, the light comes on. Right? To showing you that it is working, to kill the noise. I can't turn my damn camera around. For some reason, once you're recording, you can't switch settings. So I'm just going to have you looking in my basic direction here while I play and show this to you. Alright, there's my sound without my tube screamer. Let me turn this down now. Tube screamer. Sustained for days. Sustained for days, even with the noise gate. Even in the front of the amp, it's got sustained for days. My signal path is not being screwed with at all, I don't believe, with the noise gate and the tube screamer, especially on hot. With my gain set right at 5. So, I mean, you know, I gotta tell you, check this out. That's a pretty handy freaking pedal, man, I gotta say. I'm a fan. Huge fan. And again, big ups to Robert at Robert's Guitar Dungeon. He's the one that told me which signal path to use, how to hook this up, because I've never had a tube amp like this. I've had a little combo tube amp, back in the early 90s, but I've never had a tube head, and I've had distortion pedals, like there's one right there, the Joyo Uzi, but I never had a boost or an overdrive. And I'd like to thank you, Robert, at Robert's Guitar Dungeon, for showing me how to hook that up, or telling me how to hook that up. And I actually thought, what if I switched it around? And I did that, and it sounded good, except for this terrible, terrible hum. So, going directly in the front of a high gain amp like this, not going into your effects loop, I recommend, just like Robert told me, put your noise gate after your overdrive, after your guitar. So, plug your guitar into your tube screamer or your Boss overdrive or whatever you're using, into your noise suppressor or your noise gate, smart gate, whatever kind of noise gate you got, into your, like how I'm using my feet there, guys, into your amp. And then you can get freaking gnarly, tasty riffs like this. My camera's probably like upside down or flip-flopped or something, but you can hear it. I mean, and then it's just so versatile. You just use your picking hand, your tone, all your tone comes from right here, a lot of it. Of course, your amp and your pedals. But I've learned that your tone, Jason Stallworth, I learned a lot from YouTube, man. YouTube, and I want to give it back. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, it's so versatile. This heavy gain. You could go into some Iggy and the Stooges, you know. And as long as it's just your picking hand, man, you know, just the harder you strum, the heavier it's gonna sound. The lighter you strum, the you know, more tame it's gonna sound. So I'm learning a lot. I've learned a lot. It's been expensive, needless to say, but I finally, after going through a few amps, I finally found my setup. I like this, and I got a pedal board in the way with a tuner, and then I got my my foot switch for the actual amp coming, so I'll be able to switch from clean to dirty with my switch, you know. No more having to switch with my fingers. So that means my videos will be a little better. Trying to improve things slowly. I need a camera with a tripod. But there you go. That's the Ibanez TS9DX and the Boss Noise Suppressor NS2 plugged into the PB6505MH. Thank you guys.